we're going to review all of our different possible transformations. So if you have this plus or minus, this sign out here in front of A or in front of the f of x, that's going to tell us if it reflects. If it's negative, then it reflects over the x-axis, only if it is negative. If it's positive, it stays the same. If it's negative, it reflects over the x-axis. On the inside of the parentheses, if I have a negative sign there, that tells us that if it reflects, so if it's negative, it reflects over the y-axis. The A that's out here in front, this is going to either cause a vertical stretch or compression. And the B on the inside is going to cause a horizontal stretch or compression. Remember, a compression is like a shrink. The H shifts the graph left or right. And the K shifts the graph up or down. Remember that whatever is in the parentheses, so the B or the H, these are always the opposite. So both of these, whatever it is, it's always the opposite. So if I have a function g of x equals a times f of x, whenever I have a f of x, this means a times f of x. A can fall into one of two categories. If a is between 0 and 1, if a is between 0 and 1, this is going to be a vertical compression. It's going to be a vertical compression. And that's another word for saying a shrink. Okay, so we're going to shrink the graph vertically. What it's going to visibly do to the graph is it visibly makes it wider. That's what it appears to do. If a is greater than 1, then that's going to give us a vertical stretch. Visibly, it's going to make the graph appear taller. So here, notice that my b is inside the parentheses, so I have g of x equals f of b times x. So in this case, if b is between 0 and 1, this is going to be a horizontal stretch. And if b is greater than 1, that is going to be a horizontal compression. So notice it's the opposite of our verticals. Anytime it's inside the parentheses, it's opposite. So if I had g of x equals 1/2 times f of x, remember there's a time sign there, then this number here that's in front of my parentheses, because it's in front, it's going to tell me that it's a vertical compression or stretch, and this is less than 1. It's between 0 and 1, so this is a vertical compression. It's going to be a vertical compression. For the next one, I have g of x equals 4 times f of x. So my 4, my transformation is a 4, and it's in front, and it's bigger than 1, so that tells us that it is a vertical stretch. It is a vertical stretch. Remember, whenever it is inside, that tells us it's going to be horizontal, so both the 1/4 and the 3 represent a horizontal compression or stretch. And to figure out what's going to happen here, remember it's always the opposite. So the 1/4 is small, but what that's going to do is that's going to be a horizontal stretch. And the 3 tells us that it is a horizontal compression.